we are initiating this dream on the foundation of a great dreamer, Sir James K. Joseph. He was 20 years back managing director of KSRTC after his stint in civil service as former accountant general and several great positions. I was lucky to have a signature from Sir when Sir was managing director and managing editor of Rashtra Limited. I cherish that signature on the merit certificate which I got in the year 97. It was on my birthday, 21st August 1997, when I was 30 years old. Today I am 55, and Sir is much younger to me in energy and enthusiasm. So we will start this episode with one signature which you cherish, sir, from Mother Teresa. Can you just cite the story of cherished moments with Mother Teresa, sir?
It was like this, Paulus. When I was AG Kerala, there were a large number of vacancies of LD clerks in the office. And in fact, the great poet Chamanan Chako wrote a satirical poem criticizing the AG's office. He called it vacant chairs or Nalilla Kasera because so many seats were vacant. So I decided to get LD clerks on transfer from central government in the Central Secretariat in Delhi and other central government offices. A number of people came. Once I started coming, I had only 200 vacancies. Once I started coming, there was a big rush. You know, there are a lot of Malayalis working elsewhere, especially in the Central Secretariat, etc. So there was a huge rush and all the vacancies were filled. When all the vacancies were filled, a recommendation comes from none less than Mother Teresa. I was wondering what to do. There was no vacancy. But then I thought, Mother Teresa's recommendation is an order. So I got in touch with the CAG's office. I got the permission to take that boy, as Mother called him. His name is Achudanandan, my boy Achudanandan. She wrote to me in her recommendation letter. I took him. Then I didn't expect a Thanksgiving letter. Normally, we give thanks to saints. In newspapers and all, you must have seen a lot of thanks being given to saints, various saints. At the time, Mother Teresa was alive. She became a saint later. But then that letter of thanks which I received, I'm keeping it as a treasure. That is what you are speaking about, Paulus. And it's very touching. Mother winds up the letter saying, my gratitude to you is my prayer to God for you and your family, Mother Teresa. That is what I got. I published in India.
Yes, sir. I was also lucky to get a signature from Mother Teresa, not on anything which I have done a merit. I went and asked her blessing for Deepika readers when I was working for Deepika, and Mother gave me a signature saying God bless. And we have published it in Deepika it was during 95, 96 times, sir. I was just recollecting. Sir, you are a person who is working from the heart, which I very much know. Now that you are talking about KSRTC, you are talking from your heart. You wanted to see the KSRTC to come up from its deathbed. And everyone know what is happening to KSRTC, but nobody know how to take it out from this trouble. This is the scenario today.
Yes, exactly.
I am talking to you based on a principle called appreciative inquiry, which says if we understand the resources that we have, with that we can transform an adverse situation into our advantages.
Exactly.
And your episodes which you are doing in several series talking about the governance circle, your episodes are authentic, sir. Your episodes are authentic, well-studied episodes. And I remember 15 years back, I came to your house and I requested you, sir, please do something in social media, do something. And I'm so happy that you are doing it so seriously And I'm sure this will become Voice of Kerala, Voice of India as time goes by.
Thank you. I'm happy. I'm very happy that I got this opportunity to be with you and in this great endeavor to serve the nation.
Thank you very much, sir. When we talk about KSRTC, you please tell me something of your association with KSRTC 20 years back and some incidents which you cherish today to start with the conversation.
It was a very hectic experience, Paulus. And as you know, I was in DBA, Rashtra DBA, after my voluntary retirement from Government of India, from the Indian Audit and Account Service. After DBA, I joined as Managing Director of Kerala State Industrial Development Corporation. Thereafter, I joined 1999, I joined the KSRTC. I joined KSRTC with some trepidation because of the sheer strength of the organization. 30,000 men were there. Even today, there must be 30,000 or even more people must be there. 30,000 men, machines, about 4,000 buses, then workshops, half a dozen workshops, then a lot of land they have. What the panchayats and all have given free to the corporation. We are having the bus depots in those places. So these are the assets. But I would rate the human resources as a biggest asset. 30,000 men. I wanted to energize them. They were all depressed because the corporation had been running at a loss quite a long time and they were not getting their salaries, drivers and conductors and all. They were not getting salaries on time. And the drivers and conductors were changing buses, no fixed bus. First of all, I brought in a concept called Panchali concept. I decided that drivers and conductors, the crew should not change. Crew should be married to the bus. I wanted to limit it to 5 also. The bus crew ratio, I wanted to limit it to 5. 2 conductors, 2 drivers, and 1 mechanic for the bus. So that Panchali concept was introduced. Thereafter, they started looking after the buses. I wanted the crew to have an emotional attachment to the buses. I didn't consider the bus as a mere machine. I wanted this emotional connection between crew and the bus that was achieved. Then the drivers and conductors were flying the buses without any concern for the passengers. They were competing with the private buses and all in speeding and all that without taking the passengers. So I introduced a scheme of incentives. So from daily collection, they could take 1%. That was a good incentive. Earlier also that incentive scheme was there, but somehow it was a very complicated thing and it was not serving the purpose. This started serving the purpose, this incentive scheme. So the bus crew marriage, then the incentive for the drivers and conductors. Then, as I told you, there were 30,000 employees and the MD could not meet all of them. So, but I did one thing. Every week on a Friday afternoon, I started a grievance redressal forum in my office. So anybody could walk in and ventilate their grievances. And I used to solve their problems as much as possible on the spot itself. That had a big impact. And I got an emotional attachment to my employees. So that was established. On top of that, I started giving cash awards to those who excel in their work and a certificate of excellence that I used to give. You got one when you were in DBA like that. So that I have been following always to appreciate excellence. Because I believe that next best to excellence is the appreciation of that. So that was going on. So everything was hunky-dory. Things were working out well. Then I started a journal because I could not communicate with all the staff, 30,000 men distributed all over the state, So I started a journal called Transfer Times. For that, as an editor, I got one person called Sudarshan Katambali. He was a poet also. you could write excellent Malayalam, so that we could bring out a good product, transport times. So the conductors and drivers were all reading it, and they could see my picture also. Earlier, they didn't know who was FD and all that. So that also was established. Then things were going on very well. But one day, some vandals damaged, ravaged KSRTC buses. 300 buses were damaged mercilessly. And then I was informed about that. I went to the place of this incident, and I saw the buses. I felt very sorry about that. Immediately, what I did was, out of 300 buses, only 210 buses could move. And I had prepared stickers. This bus belongs to them. Janangalku Sondam. Your own bus. Janangalku Sondam. So that sticker also, I got it posted immediately on all the damaged buses. All the buses started moving ahead of me, and I followed, and the others followed me. All the political leaders, they are all. It is considered to be a great historic event in the history of Kerala. That happened in July 2000. I did that to awaken the conscience of the people against damaging public property. And I'm happy to say that it had a tremendous effect, because after that incident, I call it Vilapayatra. Vilapayatra, English is courtship. So it was called the Vilapayatra. It's still known as Vilapayatra, the famous Vilapayatra of KSRTC. My objective was to use that unfortunate incident as an occasion to cement the solidarity of the management, my MD and top management with the employees. They all came. The big procession starting from Palayam to East Fort. There was a big, and people were watching from both sides. Some were weeping actually, looking at the buses. Some ladies were weeping and all that. That emotional impact I could create by that. You asked which is the most important event which I still cherish. It is this memory of this Vilapayatra. So everything was going smoothly. After that, KSRTC started working as usual. Then I started visiting the depots. There I saw a lot of buses on, in Malayalam we say, Kattapurtha, stuck there for some reason or other. When I inquired why these buses are not moving, they said it is mainly because of spring leaves are getting broken very often. We are buying it at 10% higher price. They are not of good quality. For a long time it was going on. I said immediately stop it, because I knew anyway I am saving 10%. Buy from the original manufacturers. It had a good impact. One day the owner of that factory, he came. He said, sir, what have you done? I am living on KSRTC. You have stopped. My livelihood is gone. I said, it's a professional decision. I can't help it. I also told him, things have improved a lot. I have seen that over the last 6 months after buying your spring leaves, bus kilometers per day has gone up by 1 lakh. What was 10 lakhs went up to 11 lakhs. 1 lakh every day, bus kilometers every day meant the revenue addition of 15 crores per annum, 15. You also said, thanks to the incentives I have introduced, pilferage of all this diesel and all has stopped. And on account of that, there is a saving in fuel expenditure to the extent of 25 crores per annum. That, from 6 months statistics, I could find out that. So I said, the operating loss per annum is 45 crores. That is almost covered by this. Then he said, sir, it is your managerial efficiency, not because my spring leaves were bad. Your managerial efficiency. Now, anyway, Mr. So-and-so, I will do one thing. I will put up this report to the board. and let them decide whether it is my managerial efficiency or because of the spring leaves, whatever, let them decide. There was a problem. Lot of people were corrupt, patronizing this man. Because they were getting their income from him. They all ganged up against me, and so I had to give my notice of resignation, and I left within 1 year of joining KSRTC. I had to go. But I don't regret. Still, the impact of my policies and all that is felt, and people. And another important thing I did was to this. We used to buy buses. I took a loan of 100 crores of rupees from HUDCO, about 1,000 buses. 100 crores, 10 lakhs per bus. 10 lakhs per bus is for the chassis, it is 5 lakhs, and for bodybuilding, it is 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs. What I did was, that was a very innovative thing. I found that workshops were idling. So I bought only the chassis, and bodybuilding was done. As you said, resource management. Most important resource I said is human resources, then the machines. Then, of course, one forgotten thing was the land. Huge assets all over Kerala. Whatever was given free by the panchayats, tremendous value, it was not being commercially exploited. So I realized it has to be commercially exploited to cover the operational loss of the KSRTC. Because I still believe that KSRTC should always remain in the public sector. Because I believe that drivers and conductors are mobile ambassadors of the government of Kerala. Every day people are seeing how well they behave, how efficient they are. That is a sign of good governance in Kerala. Even if there is a little loss, it should be suffered. But we don't have to suffer that loss because of this property. That is not being managed properly. In my time, it was not done, but it's because of my idea, things started moving, and commercial complex was built at Tambanur, in Trivandrum, then various other places. It was all done by Kerala Transport Development Finance Corporation. They didn't do it very professionally. Therefore, we didn't get the benefits envisaged from those things. Many of them are unoccupied also. So here is my suggestion to save KSRTC. This has to be, and in the meanwhile, KSRTC and KTDFC, they're both under one minister, Transport Minister. KSRTC had taken a lot of loan from KTDFC. Because of default, there was some problem between top management and KSRTC top management. They went to a consortium of banks that took about 3,000 crores 3 years ago. And they are defaulting on that also. Today, the loss is the highest in Kerala. For any public sector, there is almost 2,000 crores per annum. What was 45 crores in my time is 2,000 crores now. Even then, I feel that the value of all the land that KSRTC owns, what they have got free, and that exceeds the accumulated losses of KSRTC. Therefore, that should be the first priority. If KTDFC cannot manage properly, it can be given to HUDCO or somebody. HUDCO is very efficient. HUDCO finances buses. HUDCO finances infrastructure building for transport. And so my imagination, my idea ultimately is this. The most important asset is the land. Then only buses come. So land should not be secondary thing. Land, you take charge of the land. Do it properly. Monetize it properly, professionally, objectively. It has to be done using the expertise of HUDCO. If KTDFC doesn't have the expertise, use that. And KTDFC can take over the loan from the consortium, do it properly. This is almost like the airports authority owning the airports, and the Air India and all those airlines, they run their business is only running transportation, not property management. Here also it should be like that. KSRTC should be left to manage the buses only, run the buses properly. That is my concept. Instead of going this way, what the government is planning now is to take out the creamy layer of the buses. Those buses which are running at a profit, long distance buses, interstate buses, take out them and bring it under one umbrella a separate company called KSRTC. So they already formed that company and they are going to take loan. Already it has been sanctioned. KIFBI, Kerala Infrastructure Investment Board. KIFBI is a source for borrowing money, off-budget borrowing, which so they are not accountable to the legislature because it is off-budget. Despite the objection of the Comptroller and Auditor General of India, ignoring it, they are continuing with it. They are borrowing, spending. So most of the expenditure, capital expenditure is being financed by, because it's not accountable. AG, Accountant General doesn't know what's happening. Legislature doesn't know what is happening. This money. These people are financed by the government. Although KIFBI loans are outside the budget, KIFBI repayment is done by the government. A part of the repayment at least. That is from fuel cess and motor vehicle tax, a portion of the motor vehicle tax. That is where I want to emphasize is fuel cess is 1 rupee for every liter of petrol. Now that payment is going to KIFBI repayment. And whatever profit now these people are making already, what little profit they are making, that will also go. I don't think it is the right decision. The right decision is what I said. Go by the value-based approach. Property first, develop it, buses. And the city buses are running at a loss, tremendous loss, greatest loss. City buses can be brought, run as a cooperative, labor cooperative or something like that. So that is all. KSRTC should be dealing with only long distance buses and interstate buses. In fact, KSRTC itself can take over all those things. And this should be managed, the property should be managed by HUDCO. Under the guidance of HUDCO, KTDFC can do it. There should be professional management. What they actually need is a finance man. But I don't know, government is not very keen about professional management, so it is going on. So below the MD, there should be a team of professionals to manage the properties and the post-bus operations and all that. Those should be ideally, in my view, engineers, retired engineers from the army. They could run it very professionally. And the MD should be appointed for 5 years on a contract basis. And like in the case of public sector undertakings of Government of India, there should be an MOU and it should not be changed during those 5 years.
The conversation, for me, it is very clear the reason for the KSRTC facing trouble now and the way out is also you have narrated in simple terms, which I will just try to pick from one the other. One first point which I noticed is the people who cried when the Vilaba Yatra conducted for KSRTC. One fundamental point is every person in Kerala has a personal experience of KSRTC.
Exactly.
Yeah. KSRTC is the super brand which is known to every Keralite.
Every Keralite.
So brand, yes, it's a most popular brand. More than most popular brand, it is a brand which is having intimacy for people because I have experienced it. It is part of me. I am part of it. That is the feeling of every Keralite in one or the other way. That is fundamental point. And you have very clearly told, sir, what you have done is you have with the Panchali scheme, you have attached people to the bus. The responsibility was assigned to 5 people. And it is connected to them. Then you have introduced the incentive for them. For that, they are rewarded. And more than that, you have initiated appreciation, which is the highest incentive as big as the achievement itself. You have already cited. I am an example. I am holding your appreciation merit certificate close to me after 25 years. Professionalism is the key for turnaround success. And what is opposite to professionalism? Opposite to professionalism is corruption.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
So I asked somebody, what is opposite to corruption? People are finding difficult, say non-corruption, honest. If a person honest, no use if that person is not active. So that is why I tell the society can be changed with the visionary action leaders. And I count you as one of the most prominent visionary action leader in Kerala. I'm telling it from my heart, sir.
Thank you so much.
Sir, you are doing it without expecting anything in return. You know the satisfaction is far beyond all kind of rewards. That's why you are taking a nominal salary when you were MD of KSRTC.
Only 5,000 rupees.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you know.
MD must be taking not less than rupees 2 lakhs per month.
Sir. And for you, you realize there is no need of money. In that way, you are having that kind of contentment, and you are happy with all your success in life, and you are dedicating for KSRTC, and you are serious about what you are doing. And when you conducted Vilaba Yatra, because you did it because it touched your heart, it pained you, and 300 buses are damaged mercilessly. It touched your heart, so you did it. And the people also responded accordingly in the same wavelength to you. That is the biggest strength of KSRTC, the attachment of the people, the affection of the people. Opposite to corruption is a service. One is charity service, one is professional service. And here you made it very clear, we can revive KSRTC by bringing in professional service, professionalism into KSRTC. Sir, it is very simple. The idea of making KSRTC into laws through mismanagement is for taking loans. The idea of making laws is to take loan. If a company is running in profit, there is no need of taking loan. And what that is the primary thing, sir. Why people are eager to take loan? When they take loan, half of it go to their pocket. So that is the primary corruption. It's very clear. If you are telling or not, you told the construction of KSRTC, it is not properly done means it is corruption. When the spring company, when you removed that company from providing the springs to KSRTC, and it resulted in added profit for the company, then bringing back them means it is simple reason it is corruption. So corruption.
And what you are saying is actually what my experience is, because when I started professionalizing KSRTC, the corrupt people, both board members and the top management people, the level of executive directors and all that, they felt very uncomfortable. They only colluded to remove me from the post of MD.
The problem is they are having less ambition, and they are looking for some revenue models, some income from that. The failure of somebody making them some advantage. That is the bribe is all compromises, no? This is a hard problem. So when we are able to introduce professionalism into a system, that system will automatically run profitably, then there is no need of loans. This is a global crisis because everywhere the world is moving towards debt trap.
Exactly.
Yes.
Very important thing you are mentioning.
The world is going towards a debt trap, and
debt storm or something like that.
It is going towards a storm, but it will not storm, sir. It will not storm because what's happening in the international loan packages, as you also cited, they add confidentiality clauses, and confidentially they ask for certain favors. Like for example, China want the military base for them in various places. So that is not their interest. These are the kind of ways the big money lenders, including World Bank, is approaching the states in this way to strategically control the territory. That is the idea. So KSRTC, it is very simple. We will wind up this session today, and later we will have one more session. You have done it very clear, and I disagree. You told a finance man should come as to the top of KSRTC. That is, I disagree with that. A person with enthusiasm, compassion, and commitment should come. That person need not be from any particular background. That person can be from any background, sir. You are from accounts, audit and accounts service, but you worked in a different way to create intimacy with the people. All the steps you have taken, one is attaching the bus to the people and giving incentive, appreciations, and the journal, which is creating large communication, because you cannot reach out to 30,000 people on a daily basis. When you have to create, yes, sir. So if this is replicated in today's condition, the social media is very much established, communication is instant, all those things are feasible now. Only thing is we need to make KSRTC into strategic business unit. You already mentioned we do not know where is the loss happening. There is no bifurcation, there is no clarity in the books. Who is making loss, where the loss is happening, we have no idea.
Yes.
We are kept under dark. So what is to be done is, first of all, a problem to solve, it should be divided, sir. Problem, when we say 2,000 crores, it's a accumulated big loss. But when we can divide it into 40...
2,000 crores is the annual loss.
I know. Yes, sir. Let it be any amount, sir. We were a country where we had no food to eat. Now, on the other day in your episode, you told at least we will have food security, nothing to worry. You see, I admire two great people, of which one I am in touch with now also, that is Sam Pitroda. And the other one is Dr. Varghese Kurian, sir. He is no more, no?
Oh.
The Amul. Sir, it is, I wanted to tell you, this Dr. Varghese Kurian did a pure model of micro business unit. He told one buffalo or two cows can make one family survive economically, sustain happily, they can live. And he built that concept, and millions of people are living in the milk field. And Sam Pitroda is the person who brought telecom revolution. Yes, we were a country, we had, when I was in Deepika, I remember, sir, somebody offered in MB quota, you are getting a telephone and a gas connection. I refused it immediately. And but that was the scenario even that time. But this is, Sam Pitroda is the man who transformed it, and he created the STD booths. See, sir, what he did is, he gave 25% commission for the STD booth operators. Today, mobile service providers, all the money they are earning, there is no attached cost in that, because the cost is fixed capital installation only. Running cost is not there much. But they are giving 0.03% commission today for the people who are the people connecting people. My point is, the approach of Sam Pitroda in creating, he gave 20 million people, he created employment at once through STD booths and telecom revolution. And if we take from the models of Dr. Sam Pitroda and Dr. Varghese Kurian, we will get answer for KSRTC revival. You have already said it, and I'm very thankful to you, sir. We will keep this conversation on. We will involve more visionaries to come in the conversation, and we will launch it as a Imagine season. We will see that KSRTC is come back to its glorious time, sir.
So I must tell you one more thing on what I already said. Next best to excellence is the appreciation of that. I appreciate your passion for excellence, and I am grateful to you for it.
Thank you very much, sir. And your enthusiasm is large energy, which leading people like me. I cherish the moments I was lucky to connected with you, and a lot of things. My life changed during those time in the journey, even afterwards. And I always remember. And let us catch up again with another episode, sir. Maybe next Sunday or in the coming days.
I must tell you that you are radiating a lot of energy. You are energizing me also. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.